Welcome to the Release Your Blocks podcast. I am your host, Victoria Bond. Join me as we chat about mindset, consciousness, and turning up your potency so you can get clear on your divine mission here on earth. I'm a spiritual empowerment coach. I use intuition, mediumship, and life coaching with my clients so they can create the life they truly desire. I believe we are here to be wealthy and healthy. If you desire more of this in your life, then this is the podcast for you. My mission is to share my knowledge of entity clearing, shifting limiting beliefs, and becoming more conscious within our bodies and minds so we can fulfill our life's purpose. I will be bringing you weekly podcasts with interviews, solos, and pre-recorded juicy lives from my socials. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the podcast, and if you do, I would love you to please follow me here and find me at Holistic Energy Shifting on Facebook, where you can find a heap of free inspiration and information to shift the energy and grow abundance. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello everybody, welcome to today's episode of Release Your Blocks. Today we're going to be talking about setting up your day for success. The reason why I want to talk about this is because as a coach that is helping holistic practitioners and coaches expand their reach, monetize their genius, and tap into their abilities, I am constantly looking for hot tips and hacks to create more and manifest more. So this morning, I did a training on my Release Your Blocks practitioner program, which is my 6-month signature program. And I thought, oh my gosh, I think this is for everybody, not just coaches and practitioners. This is about everybody setting up their day. So we're going to dig deep today into the ways I set myself up for the day, the procedures that I add in, and also destroying and uncreating any sticky energy or judgments and considerations of what we think we have to do and be and show to the world every day to be successful. Because that there is an illusion. So let's dig deep. And I'm going to pre-frame this because this is all flowing through me as we speak. I am a channel. What that comes through me sometimes doesn't make sense to the cognitive brain, but energetically it may make sense to you. So don't try to overthink anything. Just listen and let yourself hear whatever is required. You can always come back and re-listen to this podcast or any other podcasts. You know what I mean? You do a training and your brain can only hear so much, but I ask you to drop your barriers and go with the vibes and the energy of this channel. Because I channel down, because I'm intuitive, and because I'm a medium and I'm really tapped into myself and the energies around me, I allow myself to go with flow. So it may not be in a perfect sequenced structure, but what I want to share with you is about dropping that perfectionitis, dropping what you think you have to be and do to be successful, and instead embracing the power of you, embracing the power of now, and embracing the potency and the possibilities of the future. So let's dive in right now. I'm going to be using a clearing statement a little bit. Okay, so the clearing statement is from Access Consciousness, because I'm going to be making this not just a little bit of a podcast kind of riff and coaching about setting up your day. I'm actually going to make this an energy clearing session, which is, I have just kind of like landed that right now. So this is just coming now. So this wasn't a part of the plan, just to let you know. So the Access Consciousness clearing statement goes: good and bad, wrong and right, all 9 shorts, pot and pock, boys and beyonds. Also known as pod and pock for short. So if you want to know more details about this, I'll pop it in the show notes. You can go to theclearingstatement.com, where Dr. Dane here, from the co-founder of Access Consciousness, explains it very, very well. He is very clever and can explain it a lot better than me. And for the purpose of our time, I'm not going to explain it. All I'm going to say is we bring up the energy, and if anything feels resistance or sticky, or you feel judgment within you, I ask you to turn that energy up and I'll say the clearing statement, and it's actually going to help to dissipate that energy that is sticking you, to dissipate those considerations and those judgments. So here we go. In the morning, I wake up and the first thing I say is, hello, body. I don't necessarily say this out loud, but I acknowledge that I've just been somewhere else, shut down, or having adventures in some dimension, who knows. But I wake up and I open my eyes and I smile and I go, hello, body. What adventures can we have today? What possibilities can we tap into? What contribution can we be? I don't say those exact words. I change them up all the time. I just ask questions. I wake up, I say hello, and then I ask questions to my body. And then I let my brain tap in. And the old version of Victoria used to go into the to-do list, because when I went to sleep at night, it was also the to-do list for tomorrow. And as you can appreciate, we all have busy lives. And then we decide that we want to become an entrepreneur. We've got this big purpose, this big mission to do in life. And you think, oh my God, that to-do list is going to get so big, I don't know what to do with it. And this is where we get a little bit stuck. So anywhere that's bringing up anything for you, will you please destroy and uncreate it now? Good and bad, wrong and right, all nine shorts, pun and pop, boys and beyonds. So the reason why I'm saying that is I know that some of you right now have a to-do list in your head before you go to bed, and then when you wake up, and I'm going to invite you to a new, different possibility. What would it take for you when you wake up in the morning to acknowledge your body, to ask some questions, to let your brain kick in, to get up? And then what I do is I call it a procedure. So I go into my kitchen and I have a glass of water. I turn on my coffee machine because that is my guilty pleasure. I love my coffee machine. And then I go and I get dressed, make my coffee, sit down, and I start journaling. All before I've started to think. Thinking will mess you up because you start thinking and you get addicted to thinking. If you don't know what I mean, then listen to The Power of Now or A New Earth from Eckhart Tolle. Now, it's all about, for me, setting up my day within myself, knowing that my energy is clear, that it's clean, that it's a pure type of energy going on. And I make sure that this happens before I start bringing in my manifestation, my affirmations, my daily routine. I realize that I have to make the space for myself. I know lots of mums that have got children and working mums, what they'll do is, they make sure they have that 5 minutes to have that cup of tea. I know back in the day, it was always like the mum getting up and going outside and having the coffee and the cigarette. Why the hell did everybody smoke cigarettes? They did that to have a bloody 5 minutes away from the kids or from the house so they could think. So it's quite funny how when we look back to those points of if you're a smoker or you may still be, of why we chose to do that. And it was probably to give ourselves that space. And that's why we loved it so much. I was a smoker for years and years and years. So interesting, right? So I get up and I have my coffee and I literally open my journal and I just write down, what do I have to do today? And that's when I kind of let my to-do list come in. I get whatever that is in my brain, whatever's in my diary, whatever I have to do today, the black and the white, like these are my appointments, and I write them in my diary. And it might be like 2 or 3 things. And then I start writing the other things I want to do. And oh my goodness, all of a sudden you've got a list of 100 things. And then your brain can start going into overwhelm. So that's what I used to do. Now I just write the things I have to do. And then I write the things that I desire to do and what the $1 million version of me would do and what would be fun to do and how am I feeling about yesterday and how am I feeling about tomorrow. So again, I don't use these exact journal prompts. I choose daily. I choose to do something different. If you do want to know some journal prompts, I'm happy, if you reach out, I'm happy to send you some questions that you can use on a daily basis. This is something that I pop into all of my programs. I always put in different journal prompts because I just think it's such a contribution to be able to ask yourself questions and then pop them down onto paper and then be absolutely fascinated at what actually came out. For so many years, I tried to stay away from journaling, and everyone was like, journal, 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 journal. Even one of my favorite teachers at school, who's now passed on, he said to me, because he could really see me as a person, and he saw that I was dyslexic. He was my English teacher. He was a beautiful, beautiful man. He saw all of me. I absolutely adored him. And he would say to me, Victoria, go journal. And he's like, journaling would be good for you. And I was like, oh, whatever. And I just didn't do it. Many coaches have said, Victoria, go journal. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I will when I get time. And then another person would say, go journal. I'd be like, oh, my journal's a bit messy now. I don't really want to keep journaling. I'll have to get a new one. So I end up with 10 journals around. Dropping the perfectionitis, dropping what you think those prompts have to be, dropping all of the excuses of time and space. I don't care if you've got 4 kids and a full-time job. Give yourself the 5 minutes to set up your day so you can start manifesting and making sure that you are living a life that you are designing, not that's happening to you. You get to live. So start living. So what you're going to do is you're going to clear the space every day by waking up and just getting that body up, getting that mind up, getting your coffee if that's what fills you up, journaling down, what are some things that are coming up for me? And what are some things I desire? It's kind of looking at the past a little bit of the future, and a little bit of the present, the to-do list, right? And it's really getting kind of set within that physical body, set within the mindset, aligning energetically with your purpose, popping it down onto paper. Do you have any idea how potent journaling can be? So that's what I do. And I clear everything. So when I am in bed, if I wake up and I feel some icky, sticky judgment or energy that kind of doesn't belong, maybe it's lingered around in the night, or I've picked it up from my partner or picked it up from a client or a friend, and I didn't quite notice that I picked it up because I'm very intuitive and empathic, I clear it before I even get out of bed, right? But sometimes this will come out when I'm journaling. So it doesn't matter when it comes out, but making sure you have a clearing statement, making sure that you have some type of magic wand. I literally have a wand, but we don't need the wand. It's more about having a wand of energy to clear the space. So what you can do here is you say, I release all energies from yesterday that do not belong within my space. You could also do the clearing statement, the access consciousness clearing statement. Basically go, okay, any energies that don't belong here, that are not a contribution, I ask you to leave, and anything that doesn't allow that, I destroy and uncreate that. Good and bad, wrong and right, all 9 shorts, pot and pock, boys and beyonds. Or you can just feel the energy. A lot of us don't know how to ask the question. I'm very practiced at the question. I was really bad at asking questions a few years ago, but the more practiced I am, the better I get. But sometimes it's just feeling the energy. So yesterday morning I woke up and went, what is this energy? What is this feeling? Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness. But I just literally felt the energy and went, good and bad, wrong and right, all 9 shorts, pot and pock, boys and beyonds. And then I felt it lighten up. I was like, oh, good and bad, wrong and right, all 9 shorts, pot and pock, boys and beyonds. Oh, it's lightened up again. Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness. That is the other one that is gold. If you're an empath, or if you are like me and your energetic system, we take on other people's energy and we kind of make it our own to try and understand it. If you're like that, and if this resonates with you, even if you're not hearing my words, I invite you to use this who does this belong to, return to sender with consciousness every day for 3 days. For every thought, feeling, belief, judgment, consideration that does not align and feel amazing. When we're resisting, When we are aligning and reacting, resisting and reacting and trying to align with other people's judgments, then what is actually happening is we get out of our own energetic alignment. So cleaning up the space. How am I feeling? Does anything need to be cleaned up? Another really good thing about cleaning up and being clear in a pure energy is notice the people around you. So notice everybody around you, whether it's your hairdresser, your beauty therapist, your personal trainer, your children, your friends, your work colleagues, your husband. Notice how they're acting around you. Do you get triggered? Are they triggering you? Are they pissing you off? What is going on there? Because this is something I've been playing with for quite a while now. And the interesting thing is when my 5-year-old son is heightened and annoying me and demanding me, I look at him and I go, now this is what they would call naughty. And it's not exactly ideal, but what is he trying to say? Because he cannot put into words or understand how he's feeling, just like adults don't. They just feel what they feel and then they react with that. So what I do is I go, is he trying to show me something? So then I go within, I turn around, I look at myself and I go, are you feeling this? Where are you feeling this? What part of your life are you feeling this? Do you need to clean something up, Victoria? And then I'll just see my child as a mirror. I will just see the hairdresser as the mirror. I will just see the shop assistant who's triggering me and they're not doing anything as a mirror, because they are trying to show me they are the contribution. The external world, this hologram of the world, is not happening to you. You have created it, and it is a complete and utter gift. And if you can see those gifts, even if they feel crunchy or unaligned, even if a client is pulling out from working with you, if someone's throwing some resistance in your way, what do you require to work on? How worthy do you feel? How on purpose are you in your life? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you happy? Are you joyful? If someone's triggering you, why are they triggering you? If you're having so much fun and you're feeling conscious and alive and on purpose, then people don't trigger you. They can push your boundaries and you can literally show them that they can't do that. You can teach them that, which is also a teaching for yourself. But if everything is a mirror, what is that mirror trying to say? And getting really curious about yourself with the behaviors around you is a fantastic way. Now, it's not always you. Sometimes it's a past version of you. Sometimes it's a past version of you that is not actually relevant anymore. And you can actually ask that question. Is this something I need to learn from this person? Or is this a past version of me that's coming back as a habit? And when you have that awareness that it's a past version of you, it is so beautiful, because you can go, okay, I'm not choosing this anymore. Thank you for the awareness. And then you can change your procedure going forward. What is required here? This is about cleaning up. This is about doing the unsexy work. This is what I go through with my clients in the programs. When something is coming up for them, I ask them to look within, to look at the shadow and to see what the reflection is and what the unsexy work is required to do. Generally speaking, I say, go to your journal. Something so simple can be so life-transforming, but why would we think that it would be life-transforming if it was so simple? So we don't do it. So get yourself a journal if you don't have one. Okay, so cleaning up. Once you've cleaned yourself up, this becomes a habit. So for instance, for me, I get up, have my coffee, I do my journaling, I get dressed, and I go work out. Exercise helps me and my body and my spirit and my soul to align, because it's working on my energetic system as well as my physical and my mindset. So I exercise, or I meditate, or I'll even listen to a podcast or one of my coach's trainings or whatever. I find folding washing therapeutic, which is interesting because I'm always trying to run away from the washing. So thank you guys whoever's listening, this podcast just gave me a huge awareness, and they can just drop in that easily. So don't dismiss the drop-ins. Don't dismiss the awarenesses. It's all really potent. So what is that for you? Now, the next thing I do is I get myself into a state of, oh my God, I get to live today. Oh my gosh, I get to expand today. Oh my gosh, I get to be creative today. Oh my gosh, I get to choose again and again and again, all within today, because life is magical and magic happens. And I wonder how I could see the magic today. I wonder what I'm going to see and know and be and perceive. Ooh, that just changed a lot, didn't it? Even if you have a full-time job, you can have magic in your job. I worked at a fish and chip shop. I've worked in dairies. I've worked at like a number of petrol stations. I've worked in tons of hair salons and, thinking that was my career, and I loved it. I loved it. But I loved working at the petrol station. I'd go into my mind, my 15, 16-year-old mind, and I'd visualize my future and visualize the impact and visualize the stage and visualize my family I'd have and my friendships and the traveling and being able to buy my own stuff and design my own house. And that's exactly what I got. And it all started from the petrol station. It all starts when you wake up in the morning. It all starts when you wake up and you acknowledge your divinely beautiful, magnificent body, and then your brilliant mind. Manage your mind and allow your mind to unprogram, to deprogram, to get rid of the crap that it's taken on, that it doesn't need. It doesn't need that stuff. It just requires you to point it in the direction of thought, of the correct type of thought, so then you can start manifesting. The to-do list only takes a moment and you pop it down. Use your mind with direct focus, not with overusing it in an addiction. Do not make your mind the addiction. So in comes you've done the journal and you've done the exercise, you've done the meditation or the yoga, whatever that is for you to get in your zen. It may just be sitting outside and breathing. Like it could be anything, but all just as potent. And then what you do is you're like, oh my goodness, it's all coming to me. And you start doing affirmations, or you start doing what I call conscious speaking. Again, I teach this in my Release Your Blocks. Conscious speaking is a way of life. I've got it in a module in Release Your Blocks, and I always send people back there and go watch conscious speaking again, because you guys are breaking habits, lifelong habits. So I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for my business. I'm so grateful for this. And I start like this. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I start feeling so expansive. And then I'm like, I am so grateful for my business. I'm so grateful for the people in my business and the lives that I'm helping to transform. And I'm so grateful for my soul clients that are finding me. And I'm so grateful for the money that just keeps coming and coming. I'm so grateful I can pay my bills. I'm so grateful that I have abundance. I'm so grateful that I have overflow. The overflow just keeps coming. I've got more than enough. I can buy whatever I desire at any time because the money is sitting there. I function from abundance and overflow. And there is more than enough for everybody. There's more than enough for every single person in the world if they could only see, be, perceive, and receive it. So what would the $1 million version of me do? What would she do? She would show up. I know that, so I literally show up as the $1 million version. Now, this doesn't happen necessarily every day. I have human days where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to nurture myself and go into nature today. I don't feel like putting on the red lippy. I just feel like being me in my trackies and having baths and showers and eating. And that's okay, because that's honoring of myself. But with this conscious speaking, what is the difference between you saying, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to go on my trip to Paris. I'm so excited that I have so many clients that there is a 3-month waiting list, that there's a waiting list for my programs, that the money just keeps coming and my friends support me. My intuition is so heightened that I can talk to spirit and help them, and I get rewarded. I get compensated in such a beautiful way, and I only ever do what I desire. I don't overgive. I give from my heart at any time that I desire, because I'm just enough, and the money just keeps coming. The clients just keep coming. The friendships just keep coming. And it's so crazy. I just keep getting given these things, and everything always is going in my way. Even when it doesn't feel like it is going in my way, and I can trust that, and I can step into that and know that I'm supported. It just keeps coming. I am just supported. It is so easy. I'm going to Paris and buying an SUV, and I'm moving to the beach, and I have support from my partner who respects me and I respect me. And I'm so excited about my bath tonight and going to the beach and eating beautiful food and going out for dinner. And the funny thing is, like, I know I'm going on this little bit of a rant here, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is how many of those things are real. To me, when I'm in that moment, and this does take a little bit of practice because your mind's fighting you to begin with, going, but you don't have an SUV. You don't have 60 grand right now to get that. What do you mean you're moving to the beach? Like, the house is $1 million there and you've only got 500. I don't know, like, whatever it is, your body and your mind tries to fight you to begin with. But when you step into this 3D dimension, when you start, the 5D, when you start stepping out of this solidness, this denseness, and you start hanging out in the possibilities and not the facts, your world changes. Opportunities show up more. Possibilities are everywhere. You are full of joy and happiness and fun, and everybody else around you matches that. If you start this and everyone around you is like, oh, you're a dick, like, wow, you're in la la land, are you okay? Don't be disheartened. Keep going. They'll follow you eventually. Be the invitation. And you don't have to go telling people, I won lotto and I'm getting an SUV and going to the beach. This is how you visualize. This is how you bring all of that magic to you. Everything was a thought. And when I was at the petrol station and thinking about this beautiful boyfriend I was going to have and the money that I was going to have. Actually, I never saw myself with money, which is funny because I've only recently just started getting money because I didn't think it was a possibility. So I would think that would be nice. But I thought more about, when I travel and when I have children and my business. And then I realized I never thought really, really big. And I have got everything that I did think about. But when I started realizing, oh my goodness, there's so many things I haven't done because I never thought they were my possibilities. I hadn't visualized them, and now I do. I visualize the new home and the staying at the beach and the having the clients and making the impact and getting out the reach and having the overflow of money and being able to buy whatever the hell I want whenever I want. I visualize that and I keep extending. And it all comes from a place of gratitude because I cleaned and cleansed and cleared out everything to align. I did my journaling. I basically cleaned up the mess. And then what I did was I started doing affirmations, speaking in a way of consciously that it's all coming to me and I'm looked after. So what is going to happen to me if I truly believe with unshakable faith that I am on my right path and the right people are coming to me? And then what happens if my clients pull out? What happens if they don't pay me the money? What happens if all these things happen? It doesn't matter because I know I'm on the right path. And if I'm on the right path, I have to be looked after because this is my reality. And I can feel some of you now probably thinking, yeah, okay, well, good for you, but that's not my reality. I don't have the finance. I don't have this. I don't have this. I don't have this. I get that. But, this isn't my hobby. Doing podcasts is a free content, right? But this is my business. This is my life. I don't have a husband that I can say, like, up until recently, of course, he worked and he helped me out and he did all the things to support me. I always had him there. But I don't have a husband who, is saying, I'm paying all the bills, babe. You just go do and have fun and make this your hobby. This is my job. Like, I still have a mortgage to pay. I still have children to feed and clothe and all of those solid things. And that happens with ease. So when the client says, I'm not choosing, now I go, okay, thank you so much. Thank you, universe, because I'm trusting that the exact right people will walk in my door. And as soon as I let one thing go, like old clothes and old shoes, just like unaligned clients that are just not ready for me, or maybe they're ready, choosing something else, that's okay. I send it off with love and gratitude and go, may the next person find me and may I be able to contribute to them. The world and the clients and the social media and the country and the government, no one owes me anything. I owe it to the world to show up, to be seen, so others can choose me if they desire. And that's why I have so much free content. And with that knowledge, with that unshakable faith within myself, within the universe, within God and spirit and you, within the humans, whether they pay me or not, if you're listening, you're being a contribution right now. You may give me some stars, you may give me a review, you may not do any of that. And maybe you're just not meant to. It doesn't matter. Because if I'm reaching you and if you get some aha moments, I'm doing my job and I will be looked after in that. So setting up your day is the way to blow your life up into a million possibilities. A million ways of joy, a million ways to get money, like endless possibilities. So what else is possible for you? If you give yourself 10 to 15 minutes a day to clear your space, to align with your energy, to do some magnetic manifesting, and allow yourself to talk to spirit, allow yourself to be a contribution, the world will greatly receive you. In some of my programs, I've got a mediumship program coming out, and this is the stuff I teach. It's about alignment. It's about receiving. It's about releasing and cleaning and cleansing. And we go so much deeper in my mediumship program that's starting in January. So this is the first time I've announced that. So now that I've done that, if this is something that aligns with you and you go, oh, that feels good, let me know. Reach out. All my details are always in the show notes. I'm easy to find, Victoria Bond. If you are a practitioner and a coach and you don't have that kind of, oh my gosh, I can just do it. If you don't have that unshakable faith yet, but you're willing to bring in money and you're willing to make a change, but there's something missing, and is this it? Are you supposed to find a coach or myself that can help you take your business in 2021 to the next level? You can do it alone. You can choose. But just remember, when you're having these awarenesses, what do I require? And there's another step. It could be a person as well. And I know for me, I actually bought a program last night. Oh my goodness. I know I work with really high-level coaches within my business, and I invest in myself over and over and over again. And I know that I will always get tenfold, if not 100-fold back for every single investment of time, money, space, everything I do. So whether I do it or not, or whether it just sits there as a contribution. So when we start functioning from this, from knowing rather than our mindset, and we set our days up for abundance, that's all that can show up. Now, asking for abundance to come in the form of joy and money and ease with grace is a really good way of things to happen as well, because you do align to whatever you're vibrating at whatever frequency. Again, this is the stuff I teach in my Release Your Blocks programs, in my business programs, and in my mediumship programs. I've got 3 core programs, one that hasn't been released yet. It's being created at the moment, but my Release Your Blocks practitioner program is taking a real deep dive for 6 months for the energy, the mindset, and the practicals, so you can explode your holistic business. And the Release Your Blocks is taking that dig deep into yourself, so you can be that magnificent manifester of your dreams. But I just hope that what you get from today, and I trust that you hear what you require to hear, and setting up your day and having a procedure and choosing for yourself and allowing yourself to be the $1 million version of you. If that means going to the beach, that means going out for dinner, or staying in bed all day, or just bringing energy to everything you do in your job, whatever it is, set yourself up and allow yourself to receive, to be who you are. I see people over and over and over again. They go to choose and then they pull out. They get buyer's remorse, or they feel guilty because they don't want to spend the money on themselves. I totally get it. I did it all my life, but then I chose differently. I realized that by putting myself first, by contributing to myself, by putting my oxygen mask on first. Unfortunately, it took a breakdown for me to get there, to lose everything, so then I could gain everything. But by me investing in myself, I went and bought myself a lipstick yesterday, and I usually would have bought my kid a toy. But I thought, what would make me feel good? Definitely a lipstick today. So what brings you joy? Where are you not showing up? Go journal it out, clean up your mess, look at your shadow, allow the light to shine on it, see you for who you are, embrace who you are, all parts of you, and then start manifesting with your thoughts what it is that you truly desire. I trust you have enjoyed this and you have got what you want and desire and require out of this. I'd love to hear your feedback. So please feel free to reach out, give me the feedback. Feel free to share this as well. I share podcasts all the time, other people's podcasts, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I know people that would love that. So there's 3 little dots, I think, on your cell phone, and you can actually share the actual podcast. It's totally free, and you can just share it to anyone that you desire in Messenger. That's what I do all the time because I love sharing content, especially other people's stuff and my own, of course. So if this does resonate with you and you think, oh my goodness, I think that person would really enjoy that and that could help them have a shift, I invite you to do that and go check out that clearing statement. That can actually totally change your life. And the other thing is choice. One tiny little choice can change your whole life direction. So watch those thoughts, clean yourself up, allow yourself to align, and ask for more. Ask for your heart's desires, because I promise you they're all available for you. Have a wonderful day. I love you, and I will see you next time. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining the Release Your Blocks podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear from you. So please leave a review and tell me what your favorite takeaway from today was. There is so much more from where this came from. You can also find me at Holistic Energy Shifting on Facebook, where you can find more content, more coaching, and more guidance. Have a grand and glorious day, and I'll see you next time.